I am going to introduce myself. My name is Linda Asensio. I teach kindergarten dual language at a school in McAllen, Texas. And I wanted to make this video. A lot of you have been asking how to make these virtual classrooms. And I know that there's a lot of videos out there already on Facebook and on different groups within Facebook, but I did want to take the time and create one. It'll be one of my first videos ever, so I hope you all enjoy, and I hope that I go slow enough for some of you. I know this takes time. I appreciate it when we got our training back in April, May. Um, the guy that did the training was very patient and slowed down, so I think I would be able to do the same. Of course, if you have any questions, you can message me. I'll be leaving my email or stating my email or Facebook page on there. I hope this really helps. So, first of all, I'd like to point out that I will be using a Mac computer. So, we do have our district provides us with Mac computer laptops, and it is the computer that I will be using. So some of the things might be different depending on the type of computer that you're using, but it should work the same about every single computer, but some slightly different. So just keep that in mind. Also, have lots of patience. You will get frustrated. I know that it was frustrating just following along when we got our training. And then I had to go back and watch the video like 3 times to make sure that I was doing it correct, make sure I didn't miss a step. So this is time consuming, and you need to have it quiet around you. So right now I'm in our office at our house making sure that I can explain this thoroughly and that there's no noise because you need to concentrate. It's a lot of concentration for this. So let's begin. I first of all want to say that our district also uses Google. So we do have access to a lot of things within our Google Drive. And we use Google Classroom for distance learning back in March through May. Within Google, I'm already logged on. You can tell because my picture is there. You do need to have a Google account. Now, many districts use these, and this is how we created them through Google Slides. You can also create it on PowerPoint and then upload. It would become a Google slide, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. This is a little waffle. We call it the waffle because it looks like a waffle. So I'm going to select there, and I'm going to open up a slides. So this would be my Google Slides. I'm going to begin with a blank presentation. And before I begin anything here, I'm going to give it a title already. So I'm going to put sample classroom, and I'm going to put number 3 because it's my third sample classroom. That way I know which one or what it's saved under, okay? I also want you to know that right at the top right here, I have different web pages, opened. I have another Google search, regular. This is where I'm going to be searching for all the items or the objects that I want to use in the classroom. This one is very important. This one, and I had already created something here that I'm going to show you, but this is called remove.bg. Okay, now this is the one that removes the background off of images, okay? So we are going to be using this, right? As you can tell, I had already searched for a chair, and there's usually white space around here, and you can see the white. So if you copy paste it onto something, you don't want the white to come out. So I'm going to show you how to download and how to remove that, upload it here and remove it, and then download it again, okay? So let me type this so that I already have it ready, remove.bg. That way it's a blank start, and this is how it looks from the beginning. So if you want to already open it, have it there. That way you just click from website to website. I have YouTube open, which is where I'm going to get my videos that I want to use in my classroom. I also have what I like to use after finding a video on YouTube is I like to use Safe YouTube. This is for children. So these are lifesavers because it removes any ads that you don't want students to see, or just get to the point, get to the video, and it's safe for them, okay? And then the last two are just things that I'm going to show you at the very end. These are all the little classrooms that I've saved from other groups. I'd like to point out that some of the classrooms that I've shared, some of them were created first in English. So I did create my own. I started from scratch on at least 5 of them so far. And the rest of them have been English versions, and I just translated them to Spanish. So I do want to give credit to those people that created them first in English because I know how time consuming they are. And I want to make sure that they get credit for that. I just can say that I did the Spanish, finding the books in Spanish or the videos, which is very hard, as you know. So let's get started on this. Okay, so I will begin with a blank canvas. So right now you have these text boxes. I don't want those text boxes. So you want to start with something blank. And I want to start with a background. So that's the first thing that we are going to do. I can easily just do a background from here, like change background, do a color. You can do that, but then it's going to look kind of plain. You want to make an actual classroom looking thing. So I'm going to use my Google search, and I'm going to look for empty walls or empty room, let's call it, with walls. Okay, of course I will go to images, and you can choose whichever one you want. There's lots of options. You can start with a plain white one. You can start with something with texture, color. I think I like this one. This one stands out. It looks a little further back, more depth in it. I like the look of this. I can put a whiteboard. I can already picture it. So I think I'm going to select this one. So you look for the one that you like, okay? Now, all I did was select it. Now, out of this, I will right click. That's how it works on a Mac. So I want to copy this image. So I don't want to copy the link. I don't want to save it. I want to copy the image, okay? So I'm going to copy image. Okay, I'm going to X that out. Go back to my classroom and copy, paste this one. There we go. Of course, you're not going to leave it this small. You want it to make sure that it stretches out all the way. So I'm going to move it, drag, make it the length and the height of the white screen that appears there. There we go. So there we go. We have a background to our classroom. And it does seem a little easy once you mess with it. It gets easier. Okay, now I want to place, let's say, a whiteboard here, okay? So I want a whiteboard. I'm going to go back to my Google search, and I'm going to put whiteboard for classroom. Okay, you have many images. Let's see. I like this one. I think it even comes with markers and a little eraser. So I'm going to right click. Okay, this one, you can see that it has a little bit of white around it. Very little, but it does have some. So it does have a background on it. So on this one, I'm not going to just copy it. This one, I'm going to save it to my computer. So I'm going to right click, save image as. And the reason that I save it as is so I know. So on there, I already have whiteboard because I had previously downloaded something like this, or probably this one. And notice how it's going to save it to your downloads, okay? I try to change that if I'm able to, but downloads is the one that's automatically going to save it to. Or I can change it over here to my desktop. That way I know where to find it and I'm not going crazy. Now I'm going to save whiteboard. It saves it as a picture. I'm going to replace the one I had already downloaded. Okay, X that out. So I hope you found the one you want if you're following along. And I'm going to go to my remove background place, my website here. So on here now, I'm going to upload the image. So I can do it two ways. I can upload it, search for it in the computer, or since I have it on my desktop, which I have a bunch of stuff on my desktop right now, sorry, I'm going to drag and drop. I can do that same thing, okay? So let me search. Here's my whiteboard. I can drag and drop the image and it deletes the background, and you can tell it was very, very small, like all around it. You can see like a checkered pattern behind it. That's how you know that it's been removed, okay? So now that it's been removed, I'm going to download that image. Now once it downloads it, and it went behind it, I'm sorry. Okay, I have it available there. I've downloaded it. I can X that out. It is saved already. I'm going to X this out as well so that I can start from blank, from scratch, the next time I need another image. And I go back to my Google Classroom. And since it's already saved on my computer, I'm going to do an insert. So I'm going to insert an image, upload from computer. Okay. Now it is saved on my desktop, so that's where it's going to pop up. Desktop, whiteboard, select it, and it appears huge. I am going to make it smaller. Okay, and let me make sure that I use the right one because I think I can see the white space around it, which is a common mistake that we all make at first. So let me check again. Insert, image, upload from computer. Okay, this is the whiteboard that I saved at first. So I'm going to go to my downloads. And if you notice on your downloads, there's one that has remove BG, which is the one I removed the background from. So yes, I copied the wrong one or pasted the wrong one. I want to use the one that has remove BG, which is background. So let me choose that one. There you go. See how you can't see the whites around it? And on the other one, you're able to see the white one. So this one, I'm going to delete because I had selected the wrong one. And like I said, this is going to be, takes a lot of patience from everyone. It's going to be time consuming. So just make sure you have plenty of time to work through one. It took me at least 3 days to finish one complete one. I was very proud of myself. But since I have little ones, it was a little tough trying to do this and other things. So I'm going to make it big enough exactly how I want it. Okay, you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. It is up to you how you want it. And then I can move in. Maybe I want it a little lower so that I can add more things up at the top. Okay, now I think I'm going to add a kidney table here. Like I said, everybody has their ways of or decorating their classroom with chairs. I think I'm going to add one with chairs. There you go. Okay, so since I want to add it, you decide if you want to add it to this side or if you want to add it to that side. I try to look for something that's already at that angle. So if I select, let's say for example, this one right here, it looks good. I think it's big enough. You don't want to select anything that has children in it because then they're going to be inside your classroom. Is there anything else I like? Nope, I think I'm going to go with the top one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, about 5 or 6 is how many students I have usually. So I'm going to select this one. Okay, here's my image. There's white around it, so I want to download the image. Okay, remember that. So I'm going to save the image first. Okay, and then I'm going to put kidney table with chairs. And it doesn't matter if you put spaces or not. I'm just putting it all together. It's going to save it to your downloads. So this one I want a desktop. You can place it. You can leave it in downloads. You don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing it there. So it has saved it. Now I'm going to go back remove from the background because as you notice it did have white around the chairs and the table. So now I did a drop file, drag and drop. Now I'm gonna upload an image and it's the same thing. You can do it either way. I just want to show you both ways. So kidney table with chairs is the one I'm selecting. Choose. It does its thing. And there you go. You see that pattern, that checkered pattern around it. That means everything was removed. I'll select download. And that's how it will appear. Okay. Everything removed, clear and nice. So I can X that out. Get out of that one and leave it again to the beginning for my next image. Okay. Now again, inserting image, upload from computer. And remember, I don't want this one. I want the one that says remove background. Now it did go to my downloads. So I'm going to go search for it in my downloads. And it is the last thing that is there, remove BG preview. So that's the one I will select. Okay. There we go. Now, one important thing, because it removed all the white around it, there's a lot of empty space, okay? And it tends to be harder to work with because then I have to make it smaller, then I have to tilt it or turn it, rotate it a certain way. So Mac has, by using the mouse, there's a lot of options. If you double click, this black outline appears, which is to crop. Okay, a regular one, you would go to edit and there should be a crop version or option there available. So you want to crop this and all I want to do is just remove some of that empty space, remove it down. Okay, and I did it wrong. Notice how there's two different things. There's one that appears like a T and I want the single arrow. That way I know that I moved it correct. So it goes down, there we go, it's cropping it. I go down and up, it's cropping it. And all I do again, double click it and it has cropped my image, okay? Now I'm gonna drag it, move it where I want it. Okay, of course that's too big. I'm gonna shrink that a little. And the more you shrink it, the better I think it looks. I don't want it sticking out, maybe a little bit more. Okay, move it up a little. There we go, that's perfect, okay? Now I can't be missing a chair behind it, okay? That's the chair that you saw at the beginning, so follow the same steps, look for, and I believe I searched for a teacher chair, and it gives me a lot of options. Okay, I selected this one. You can select one with more cushion. Ideally, of course, that's what we want, like an office one, a comfortable one. But we do get our ones that look like students. So I selected that one. There's white around it, so I have to follow the same steps. So it's a lot of the same repetitive steps, which makes it easier because it's not hard to remember to do that. But like I said, it is time consuming. So I'm going to save the image as, and I already have this one saved. I believe it's on my desktop. So this one is teacher chair. Okay, exit out. Go to remove background. And I'm gonna drag the image, and I have it here twice because I had already done it before. Drag and drop. It has removed it. Download it. There we go. Looks perfect. Exactly what I want. Start from, leave it ready for the next one. Come back to my main classroom and insert image, upload from computer. Go to my downloads because I want the one that removed the background. Select it, and now I'm going to shrink that. Okay, now I'm going to place it more or less where it should go, right there. And now you can tell that, of course, you're not going to leave it like that. Like it looks like it's sitting on top of the table and chairs. So here's an important step that you do have to do with some of the items that you place on there, some of the furniture. Once you select the chair and right click, there is an option that says order. So this is like your typical one on, I know that Word has it, where you send something to the back, bring something to the front. So that's what you want to do more or less. Okay, so there's four options. Right now, two are only highlighted because these are the only two. Right now it's already to the front, so it's not going to allow you to select it again to the front. So it's send backward and then send to back. Send to back means literally it's going to send it all the way to the back. So that is even behind your background. You want to select send backward, okay? That's just going to place it behind the other object or the other furniture that's already there. Now you can tell there's a chair there for the teacher and there's chairs for the students, okay? Next, I want to add a bookshelf. So I'm going to select a bookshelf for the other side. I'm going to go back to my Google search. Classroom bookshelf. Sorry, misspelled that. Okay, and let's see. I just want a simple one. I like the two-tiered one. Yeah, I think this one. Yes, okay. Now again, it has white. So save the image. And I hope I'm not going too fast for you all. Two compartment bookshelf, I'll leave it like that. I'm going to put it on my desktop. Save it. Okay, X that out. Go to my remove background. Upload my image. Two compartment bookshelf, double click it or select and choose that one. Okay, it has removed the background from it. Download the image. It has been downloaded. Go back. X that one out. Okay, now I'm going to place it on this side. That's why I got it already tilted that way. If you want to place it on the other side, so you would just get another, that one or a different one that's already set for that side. And I'm going to show you what I mean right now. So I can't just copy paste. I have to go to insert, image, upload from computer. Again, I don't want the regular one. I want the one that has removed background, which is in my downloads. Select it. Okay, and I'm going to shrink that to make it fit where I want. Okay, now there is a little bit of space, so I'm going to crop it a little bit. I'm going to move it closer. My single arrow, I think right there, okay? So I'm placing it where I want it. It does look a little off, so maybe a little smaller. And some might look a little awkward at times, but it depends what kind of bookshelf you got. You can make it larger so it looks better. Okay. Okay, more or less, that's how it's gonna look. Now, if you want to set it on the opposite side, you can select it and you can actually go and you choose the left side and drag it all the way to the right and it turns it. Okay, so you don't have to be getting another one necessarily, but you can. Okay, I'm going to go back and leave it exactly like I had it. So there's my little bookshelf. Now on that bookshelf, I can place books, I can place manipulatives, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But I'm going to continue with some of the decoration. Maybe I want a pennant up here, and I had already saved a pennant. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to add that one. But of course you would follow the same steps. Go to Google search, search for a pennant, and go back, remove the background, go to my Google Classroom, then insert image, upload from the computer, and I'm going to look for the pennant removed, which is this one. Okay, so I want to add it, of course, to the top. I'm going to shrink it because I don't want it all the way across. I want it to start from there. And this one has a lot of space, so I'm going to crop it. Okay. There we go. I'm going to have it start from the top. Okay, now I want another one just like this one. And I'm going to make it smaller. So all I'm going to do is copy that one. So copy this one. And I'm going to paste it so it looks exactly the same. And I want to make sure it fits right next to it. There we go. Okay, let me move it up a little bit. Too much. There we go. Okay, so now I added a little bit of decoration there, and that really helps. Okay. If I want to add like writing on my whiteboard, there's an option for a text box, so I would put text box. Just put it on the whiteboard, and I can type away. I'm going to center that, make it large, select your font. I want Chelsea Market. And I can put welcome to Kinder. And then I'm going to put my name as Ascensio's Class. And then I can put the year 2021. I can change the color of the text color right here. So I can put it in blue, just my favorite color, or you can choose a teal. You can choose any color that'll stand out, a red. I can go with this one right here. There you go. Okay, maybe make it a little larger. So if I selected the box, I can make it larger. It just depends what you like how you want it exactly. And I'm giving you like a basic, like there's teachers that have gone all out and added tons of things within one slide here, one virtual classroom. I like it simple. Like this could be like your welcome one, very simple, to the point. Okay. You can search for an image of a poster. It could be, let's see, classroom rules poster, classroom rules poster for elementary, and you can choose whichever one you like. Let's see. Since I'm in kinder, I might want something that has whole brain teaching. No, not that one. When you enter this classroom or teacher, no, that one has a teacher's name. Class rules has a teacher name. Oh, I like this smart one. Yep, I like this one. So I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to download the image. No, actually, I'm going to copy this image because it doesn't have really white around it. What I can do is I can crop this, like to delete around what's there. So I'm going to copy that one. And since I copied it, I'm going to insert. Okay. Paste it there. And this is why I told you I didn't do the remove background. On some, you don't have to really if you're able to crop things out. But like the furniture, I would say yes, that's easier to do it that way because if they're slanted in any way, like it's harder to crop that way. So it's easier to remove background on those. So on this one, double click. And I want to get those single arrow all the way down. Right there. And I want to do it at every single side. So I make sure I removed everything. Okay, right there. There you go. So now that I have it single, I can make it smaller so that it can fit right next to my whiteboard right here. Maybe shrink it a little bit more. And yes, you won't be able to see it right now. But once you're done with your whole classroom, I'm going to show you how the students would view it, okay? So on here, let me add books now. I'm going to show you the next step. So you can continue adding different furniture around. Depends on what you want. I want a rug as well, so we can add the books and the rug. Okay, I'm going to move this over just a little bit. There we go. Let's add a classroom rug or carpet. Classroom carpet. Okay, so of course you want to select something that's laying down, not standing up like these. So laying down, there's a checkered one. Let's see. What do I like? I don't want something that's actually live or a real image. I want something that's laid out. I don't want anything with children in it. Okay, I think I'm going to go with one of these top ones. There's options of if you want a kindergarten one or what. I think I'm going to select this one. I like this little pattern on here. So it does have white around it. I cannot crop it because it is slanted. So it's harder to crop. So I'm going to save this one. So class carpet. I'm going to save it to my desktop. X that out. Go to remove background. Upload the image. Okay, there's the image there. Download it. I can go back. Okay, I'm going to insert the image. Sorry. And then upload from computer. Remember that I want the one with background removed. So I'm going to go to my downloads, carpet, and there it is. Okay. Now again, look at all that empty space at the top and the bottom. So I want to crop that. Make it smaller here. Bottom as well. There you go. Okay, I want to move it all the way down. I'm actually going to put it there. Okay, now it is overlapping, but obviously you need to mess with it. So I'm going to just shrink it to fit from the bottom. There we go. So once you move it, it'll fit on there. Now I do want the table to be forward, as you can tell, like it looks like the legs were cut off on there. So I'm going to go to my table and I can either make it smaller so that it fits better, or I can select it, go to order, and then bring forward or bring to front. That way it'll stay at the front, okay? I can also do the carpet, order, and then bring backward, okay? So I think I'm going to just shrink this a little bit. And as you're going along, like some things might change. My chair looks too big, so I'm going to shrink that a little bit. That way you perspective and proportion is there. Okay, I think that looks good. I've added my carpet. It does seem a little off-centered, but it's okay. I mean, this is just to show you all. Of course, you can mess with it. If you're OCD, then you can place exactly how you want it and everything. So it is going to become your classroom. So let me show you how to add a book. So since I already showed you how to add furniture and decorations, you basically can select anything and you follow the same steps, okay? So now, and adding a book is a little different. So if I want to use like a welcome book, since this is going to be my welcome classroom, I'm going to go to my, let's search for one of the books, okay? So I'm going to go to my Google search. And first of all, I want to get an image of the book. So I'm going to do First Day Jitters book cover or book. Here we go. So let's say I like that one. I'm going to just copy the image. This one has no white around it. So all I'm going to do is copy the image. I come back over here, okay, and I'm going to paste my book image. So all I'm going to do is shrink it, make it small, okay, small enough to fit on top of this. Okay, now it does look a little off, and don't worry about it. Okay, that looks a little better. Like I said, it's probably the bookshelf that was selected as well, since the way it's slanted or angled, it is a little crazy there. So there's the image of the book. Now I want to make sure that this book has a video of this read aloud available with it. So that's the next step that I'm going to show you. So once I have the actual image of the book, I can go to my YouTube and I will search for that book. So First Day Jitters Read Aloud. Okay. So it'll give you a lot of them. You choose whichever one you want. If there's one that you have read, if you have your own YouTube channel, you can select your own. It doesn't matter which one you select, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just select the first one that pops up. I don't need it to be read. All I need is the link at the top. So I'm going to go to the very top and I'm going to copy that link, okay? So I have Command copy. That's how I copy it, or you can right click and copy the link. And since I explained at the beginning that I search on YouTube, then I like to use Save YouTube to share with the kids. So now that I've copied that link, I come back to here and I want to generate one that is safe for the students. So I'm going to paste my URL there, my link, and it's going to generate, I need to press this one, generate a new link. It generates it. Now I can copy it. That's the new one. And then you know that it's through Save YouTube. I can X that out. That way I can do the next one. I go back to the book image. Okay. Now, once I select that book image, if you notice, look at the top right here, okay? This area where you have all those options available. Notice how you have all of these, the plus, the going back, the printing, the text box, background, layout, theme, and transition. Notice how this changes, this last part, once you select the book. There's more options available. So you can write on it, you can add comments to it or anything. I want to do the one that looks like a paperclip, which is insert a link. So once I select insert a link, this will pop up. I paste the link that I was given through Save YouTube and then apply. So now it has been linked already. And if for some reason I did the wrong one, I can edit the link. If for some reason I don't want a link on it, then I can remove the link. This one is just copy the link one more time, but you don't need to copy it, okay? So then you would continue, look for another book, image, put the book image here, and then go from there to YouTube, search for the video. So you want to try to select books that you know are available on YouTube, and the majority are available on YouTube. If you are recording your own, just make sure you are following the law, which is make sure that you are getting permission to read those books online. It is very important that you have permission from the one that wrote the book, okay, and or the editor. I'm not sure what is exactly right now, but you do have to have permission from the that person to share the story online. A lot of teachers already have posted some up. A lot of educators, or a lot of even the own authors have read their own books online. So a lot of them are already available on there, okay? So just make sure you do have permission, and you can use either the one that you created or one that they created. So you would just continue adding. You can add to the library. You can add, maybe I want to add like a pencil box up at the top. I can go ahead and do that. You can continue adding books. You can continue adding decorations. So classroom decor. And you can see, sorry, not decor, classroom items. And let's see. right now I'm just looking to see what I can put. I can put a globe, okay? So that's what I want. Classroom globe. There we go. So there's my globe. I want this one here. So I'm going to save the image. Globe, my desktop. And I'm going to remove the background since it does have white. So I will X that out. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little faster because I'm comfortable enough already going through it, but it's the same steps. Upload the image. Look for globe. Let it do its thing. Download it. Okay, perfect. Go back to my classroom and I'm going to insert the image from an upload and go to my downloads. That's the one I want. So I can either place it on top of my little kidney table. Maybe I'm doing a lesson that talks about maps and globes and everything, or I can place it right on top of my bookshelf. And that's how I keep on adding decoration. I can put a pencil box, I can put a plant, I can add books here, laying down. There's many people that have placed like more posters, something about reading. Depends what your classroom is going to be used. This is more like an introduction classroom, but there are like the ones that I've been creating, many different versions of it. Okay, so I want to show you that. So this is the basics of creating the classroom. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end that part. I showed you how to link it, and I hope this really helps you all. Now I want to show you classrooms that have already been created so that you get ideas. I know that the different groups on Facebook, and there's tons, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy the teachers are willing to help each other during this difficult time for all of us, since we cannot be in our classrooms and we are with our families. I have a 2-year-old that it's hard to be working during the day with, as it is, so because I have to tend to him and stuff. So this really helps out, like just having those Google Classrooms already created and teachers sharing them. They don't mind all their hard work being shared up there. Like, I'm super thankful. So I do want to show you that in my Google Drive, I have an area, an actual folder that I created to save all of the ones that I've come across. There's tons, like math, reading. The reading ones were the first ones that got started. So there's a back to school one, and I'm saving these as my own titles, with my own titles, that way I know what it is. But there's different ways to do them. Like, it's not only the way that I'm showing you, okay? So there's this one is the Ciclo de Vida de la Calabaza. That's the one that one of the ones I shared. I didn't put any shelves, okay? I didn't do any of that on this one. So it just depends how you want to design it. So there's no one correct way. There's many different versions, okay? This one is another one that a teacher shared that already had different rooms set up. In case you wanted to copy any of these, this one already, you can see that there's even a playground in the back. So that way the kids can have an image of that playground. Now, I do want to point out that there's a little cat right here. You can actually have your pet in your classroom, okay? All you would have to do, of course, you're not going to find your pet picture in or your Google search, but you can take a picture of your pet, then upload it to your computer. So share that picture onto your computer. And since it's going to have a background, you don't want a background, you can remove background, or you can, so you can set it up like this. There's no background on this pet, and this is probably this person's pet on there. And you can include your pet in your classroom, which I thought was the neatest thing, okay? This next one, this is for reading, so she already has a bookshelf set up, so you would just place your books here. You can delete items. These are classrooms already created. Once you download them, you can delete and add items to make it fit your needs, okay? It's not set in stone. That's why a lot of the ones that I shared, I mean, if you all wanted to remove stuff or add things, it is up to you, because now that you've made your own copy, you've saved it, it is yours. Okay, this next one, you can make it into maybe a phonics room. Then they have a little like lawn chair. The next one, this one, also a reading group, a reading classroom that you can use. This one is more like science, Magic School Bus. So, of course, you can go back, and if you're discussing something that there's a video on Magic School Bus, you would link. You can even do this image, link it to a video. So then again, you would just go to here, Magic School Bus. Misspelled that, sorry. And there's the new season, which I thought it was cool. I'm an old school person, so Get Lost in Space. So that's the one I want to use.
You get closer.
So let me start. Let me lower that a little bit.
Still works. Still works. Still works.
Okay. And of course, I don't need to watch the video, but I just want to make sure it works. That's one important thing. You do have to listen to the video to make sure that it is something that you want to use. Don't just like, oh yes, I found the video, let me just attach this one. So of course I didn't like that one, so I'm gonna go, I think I'm just gonna go for an updated version. I wish that the older version, or the original, sorry, I shouldn't say older, the originals were available. Okay, so that one works. I'm gonna copy that URL, go to my Save YouTube, delete the one that I had previously placed, and copy my new one there. I'm going to use this one and go back. So this one was the Magic School Bus Rice again. So all I'm going to do is go to that one classroom that I was showing you, since it had a Magic School Bus on there. I'm showing you that you cannot links to things that are already there if they don't have links. So this one, I'm going to do the little paper clip, insert the link to an object that's already there, a picture, paste the new link, and apply it. So now it is on there, okay? So I can link anything. I can go look for a video about space. This is Think Like a Proton, Stay Positive. I can add a video to that. I can add a video to this if they're individually placed on there. Okay. So there's tons of things that I can attach videos to. I can add videos to my table. If I go back over here, I can add a video to my furniture there. I can add a video to this, as long as I have this the insert link paperclip looking thing. Okay. So the final thing before I end my video today is for you to know how to send it to students. Okay. I obviously don't want to send it this way, because then they're going to be able to edit your presentation. You don't want it edited by them. So the way you would do it is, depending on what sort of program you're going to be using. There's Canvas, there's, I think some people are using ClassDojo, there's Google Classroom, there's Seesaw. There's many options out there, depending on the one that your district is asking you on, or if they're giving you a choice, like you can choose whichever one you want. We will be using Seesaw on our end. We did use Google Classroom, and it was a little tougher for our kindergarten students. So now we've had the time to explore Seesaw a little bit more, get familiar with it during the summer, and I think that's what we're going to go for. So once we're able to select the program that we want to use, this is the way that you would share it with your students. So my classroom, I go to File, and I am going to download this classroom. And I will download it not as a Microsoft PowerPoint, I will download it as a PDF. It is very important that you download it as a PDF, because you know that a PDF you can't change. So the students won't be able to move any of your furniture and delete any of your links or anything, okay? So now I've downloaded it. It's right here, my sample classroom. And this is how it appears, okay? So there it is. Now notice how there's a little hand and it's just a regular little hand. But since I added a link, the only thing that's linked right here is my actual book. So once you place it over the book, notice how the little mouse tool changes. It's a pointer now. That tells them there's a link there. Okay. So, and it, as you can see, like the link appears. So once I click on that, or they click on it, it takes them straight to the video. Okay. So this is the neatest thing. I'm in love with these virtual classrooms. They're so fun to do. I hope the students really enjoy it. There's also a way that you can include your Bitmoji. And those of you that have Snapchat, it is better. I'm using Safari right now. That one would be better used through Chrome because Chrome does have an extension that allows you to use your Bitmoji. So I'm going to just show you real quick. I'll probably create another video explaining that part. But on here, I already have my Bitmoji here available. So if I open my classroom, and let me show you real quick. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to log on through my stuff. Sorry. Okay. So I want to go into my Google Drive, and this is just to show you that there's things that you can do that are like, wow. But like I said, this is another video. I'm going to open exactly the same one that I have on the other on Safari. And it's called Sample Classroom. So I'm looking for that one. Sample Classroom 3. Where did it save it? Oh, I know. It went into just my regular drive. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. So I'm in my Sample Classroom. It's exactly the same one that I had on Safari, but now I'm under Chrome. And the reason I'm using Chrome is because I want to include my Bitmoji. So you can go to Chrome, search Bitmoji extension. It'll take you to the process of downloading it. Then you need to link your Snapchat. So you need to have a Snapchat already for it because that's where Bitmoji is used through. And you log in and it'll show you right here the extension. So all I'm going to do is press on it once you've logged in and everything. And as you can tell, there's my Bitmoji. So I want a Bitmoji that's sitting, and I already have it here, okay? If not, I would just search sitting, and it gives me that one. I wanted to have like my full body. You can have half depending on where you're placing your Bitmoji. But the way that I would do it, there's two different ways. You can copy paste it, which is you just select it and it copies it already. Or you can drag it in. So I'm going to drag mine in. So I'm going to drag it in. Okay, there's my Bitmoji. Now, of course, she looks really big here. So I'm going to shrink her a little bit. And I'm probably going to put her like sitting on this chair. So I'm going to move this chair back a little. That way you can see that I'm going to sit. And I'm going to place myself there. Shrink myself a little more. And I'm going to hate that I can't reach the floor, of course, but you won't be able to tell right now. Okay. So now again, I want my Bitmoji to look like it's sitting on the chair. So I can do the same thing I did with the table, with the carpet, where I did order. So I'm going to right click it, order, send backward. Let's see. It's not letting me. Hold on. Okay, so it's not letting me send it backwards, so that means I have to mess with the table then. So I want the table to come forward. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put it, bring to front. There we go. So if it doesn't work with your Bitmoji, it'll work with the object that's right in front or the furniture that's right in front. So now it looks like I'm sitting in my classroom. Okay, I can add my Bitmoji doing different things on it, but I think this is the coolest thing ever. I love it. But like I said, I can do another video on that, or I hope you all got the gist of how to do that one at least. But now that if you notice how I did it on Chrome, it's already on there. And since it automatically saves it, my Bitmoji is already on my Safari as well. Okay. I really hope this video helps everyone out. You can play this video as many times as you need to. That way you follow step by step what I did. Realize that it is time consuming. You need to have a lot of patience. You decide what you want in your classroom. I gave you the basics of it. There's tons of videos out there. Don't only stick to mine, but I truly appreciate you looking at my videos. I hope you all have a wonderful year and have fun creating these because they are awesome. This is, I think, the coolest thing that's out there right now for us teachers to look forward to as far as decoration of a classroom, since we're not going in person for health purpose reasons. So I hope this really helps you all out, at least to get the anxiety out of not being able to decorate your classroom. Thank you so much for watching my video and have a wonderful school year.